Hey y'all, it's Dawn, and I'm so glad you're back. I've got another fun, budget-friendly DIY video for you today. A Dollar Tree Plus store just came about 20 minutes away from my home. I had to go to the grand opening, and of course, I found this $3 tray. There goes my use of all my stash before purchasing anything else. I stained it with some gel stain, which is from my stash, so not all hope is lost. I applied the gel stain to all the sides and wiped it with a paper towel to remove the excess. I wasn't worried about the center because I had another idea for it. I found this beautiful textured contact paper on Amazon, which you can find in my Amazon store, which is listed in the description. I cut the contact paper just a little too small. To cover up my mistake, I used some of this faux leather ribbon, also from Amazon and in my store. I cut the faux leather to size. And sorry for all the back of my head shots, but y'all know how I am. I get so involved in my projects, I forget about the camera mounted above me. All I did was simply hot glue the faux leather into place on the tray. I recently purchased a new hot glue gun that is cordless, and I have to say it is amazing. No cord to get in my way is awesome. I think this little tray turned out so high-end looking. It looks like something you would get from Kirkland's. I absolutely love it. I found 2 Dollar Tree birdhouses in my stash and had an amazing idea for them. I painted the roof and the perch of the birdhouses with folk art obsidian terracotta paint. I loved the texture that the terracotta paint left. I next painted the trim and the bottom platform with white chalk paint. On the first birdhouse, I used some of this textured contact paper you can find in my Amazon store for the side of the birdhouse. I cut it down to size and smoothed it out with a squeegee. I also used a Dollar Tree fingernail file to remove the excess from the sides. I applied a layer of matte Mod Podge once I had all the sides on to seal and protect the birdhouse. And somehow I lost the footage of the second birdhouse. Where does all my footage go? If you find it, please let me know. For the second birdhouse, I used scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby around the sides of the birdhouse. I ordered a set of 4 candlesticks from Amazon, which you can also find in my Amazon store, and painted them with white chalk paint. I used 1 taller candlestick and 1 shorter one for the birdhouses. After the paint had dried on the candlesticks, I attached the birdhouses to them with hot glue. And just look at how stinking cute these birdhouses turned out. Of course, I adore the neutral colors, but you could use any color of your choosing. What colors will you be using for your candlestick birdhouses? I would love to know, so leave me a comment. I know, we all have a good idea how to make a garland, but I still wanted to show you this super simple garland I made for a tiara tray. I used some white string. It's kind of like kite string. I wrapped a piece of tape around the end of the string to make it easier to string the beads. I poured some of the beads out of this Dollar Tree container just so they were easier to get to, and began stringing the beads. I can't remember how many beads it was, but I used all the beads I had in this container because I wanted a really long garland. When I was finished, I cut the tape off and tied a knot at both ends. I left a little slack in the string so the beads would be able to move and I could arrange them in different ways with different items. In my opinion, it's not farmhouse unless you have beads. What do you think about beaded garlands? Let me know in the comments. I painted this little house I got from a flea market a while back with 2 coats of folk art Castle Chalet chalk paint, drying it between coats with my heat gun, of course. I created this design in Design Space, cut it out with my Cricut, weeded it, and applied it to transfer tape. I then applied it to the top portion of the little wood house. It was adorable just like this, and if you wanted to leave it, you could. But I decided to use a piece of twine as an accent. I wrapped the twine around the little house a couple of times and tied a simple bow to one side. And oh my goodness, just look at how stinking cute it turned out. And I absolutely love this color. Let me know in the comments what your favorite color scheme is. I wanted a neutral color book stack I could use year-round in my home. I removed the embellishments from this little Christmas book stack and scraped the hot glue from the top. I used a Dollar Tree sanding block to remove some of the ink on the spines and a baby wipe to remove the dust left behind. I painted the first book with folk art Castle Chalet chalk paint. I've used it in several DIYs now and absolutely love the color. I repainted the next book with Waverly ink chalk paint. And also applied more Waverly white chalk paint to the third book just to freshen it up and cover the ink from Christmas. cut out the words using my Cricut and then applied the vinyl to the spines of the books. I used a free font from DaFont called Kitchen Home, so if you like this font, be sure to check it out on dafont.com. I love this font and have used it several times on different projects, and the best thing is, it's free. I tried to align the vinyl on each book so they were even. I didn't glue the books together, so I'd be able to display them laying down or standing up. These books will work for almost any season with their neutral color. Let me know in the comments what color scheme you would use in your home. I found this Target Bullseye house in my stash and decided to give it a quick makeover. It was already painted white, so I didn't have to paint it, and that was a plus. After fuzzing this chalk couture stencil, I applied it to the lower part of the house and made sure I rubbed all the air bubbles out. I applied a layer of black paste to the stencil. And somehow I wound up with black paste all over my fingers. I'm always making such a mess. I removed the stencil, trying not to touch it with my messy fingers. And wow, I immediately fell in love with it. I used a piece of twine and wrapped it around the top of the house and tied a simple little bow. I placed a couple of sprigs of baby's breath into the twine, and it was complete. And just look at how stinking cute. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is another stash find I forgot all about. This wooden candlestick cost me $1 at a yard sale. It had some splits, but I liked them, so I decided to leave them. The first thing I did was paint the entire candlestick with folk art chalet chalk paint to cover up the design, which was already painted on it. The design was cute, but just doesn't match my decor at all. As y'all know, I'm a neutral color girl, and most of my decor is white, black, gray, and tan. And of course, something happened to the footage of me applying the Vaseline and the first coat of folk art sheepskin paint. I randomly placed the Vaseline all around the candlestick. I applied a second layer of sheepskin chalk paint and then turned on my hot air gun to dry the paint and make it look old and chippy when the Vaseline melted. Once the paint was dry, I took a paper towel and lightly dabbed the candlestick to remove the melted Vaseline. I also lightly rubbed the candlestick to cause the areas where the Vaseline was thicker to chip off. I then dry brushed another layer of sheepskin paint onto the candlestick. And when I was finished, I was so surprised at how the dollar candlestick turned out. It turned out so high end and is perfect for my farmhouse decor. Please take a second to like this video and leave me a comment. This really helps my channel to grow so others just like yourself can find me. If you just found me, I hope you will join our little family by hitting the subscribe button. If you are already part of the family, thank you so much for your love and support. Y'all are the absolute best. Check out my new Amazon store for craft supply and farmhouse home decor recommendations. All the products I use from Amazon in my videos can be found there. Until next time, happy crafting!